Hello everyone and welcome to Nara's Tarot. Thank you very much for being here. In today's reading, we're going to take a look at the major changes in your life that you don't see coming. So we have 3 piles for you today. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So feel free to pause the video here to connect with the piles and I will see you at your reading. Hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading about the major changes you don't see coming. So we're going to take a look at your tarot cards first and then we'll grab some oracle cards to unveil the message for you today, alright? And the very first card you have is the Queen of Wands, followed by Death. And finally, we have 5 of Wands in reverse. And underneath the deck for you, we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. Okay, one of the major changes happening for my pile 1s definitely is moving on from conflict and situations where arguments and challenges and people keep clashing together, like those kind of situations, you're definitely moving on from that. And that's one of the major changes happening. It's a lot more peace between people and relationships, a lot more harmony, and you don't get hurt so much from your environment or from the social circles that you're in. You moving on from all of that actually gives you so much like it gives you a very much needed peace, and you find that actually you were hurt not because like you were doing something to yourself or whatever, like, but because you were taking a lot of emotional pain and misery from the people around you. All right, so that's the first thing here. Now the second thing, the next major change that happens is the reawakening of your own spirit and your own light with Queen of Wands and Death. The Queen of Wands, she is the ruler over this wand energy, and wands represent our determination, our willpower, and also our life force and the light within us, this will and this intent. Right? And so she, combined with the Death card here, is that resurrection or the rebirth of that spark within you that maybe was extinguished some time back because you were always caught up in all of this strifling and all of this squabbling and quarreling, or just some kind of situation that was just always so contentious, and there was just always so much chaos and quarreling between people, you know. When you move on from that, it actually reignites your spark, and you almost like begin to remember again what was the point of the things you did. It's like you remember the point of life. You remember the point of your time on earth and your point in your life, essentially. It gives you a lot more meaning, a sense of purpose, and it restores hope and faith in you as well, okay? So that's the second thing here. Now, the other thing I do want to mention is with the Death card here, because the keyword here in this Death card is rebirth. I also feel like for many of you, one of the major changes happening is the rebirth of a life that you thought you lost. You might have had to like make some pretty tough choices in the past for whatever reason. You chose to be in a challenging situation and to put up with these challenges. And that also had to mean you walking away from maybe peace or a certain harmony in a relationship, or maybe having to move on from a life that you thought you wanted. Right? But now with this Death card and rebirth as the energy in this card, you're revitalizing that vision and that dream that you had and coming back to a life that feels you again. And I think that is the thing, like you feel like you again out of all of this. This is a major restoration of just more you, more you-ness, if that's something that I could put. So let's take a look at your oracle cards and see what else Spirit wants you to know, okay? Alrighty, we have here the Metal Rabbit, a state of graceful movement. We have wood sheep, nature is your healer. We have earth monkey, you can move mountains, as well as metal pig, partnership and collaboration. Yeah, this is definitely what is coming in for you. A lot more harmonious partnerships that are that create win-wins, like partnerships where both parties can help each other, and it's not about a win-lose. It's not about trying to gain an upper hand, which is very much what the Five of Wands is people wanting to gain an upper hand above the others in whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, they would want to like win, and nobody wins at the end of the day with the Five of Wands. So you're moving on from that and finding like real partners and real collaborators who actually want everybody in that partnership to thrive. Now, other than that, the other major changes I see, if we were to look at your cards holistically, is number one, more gentleness. With nature as your healer in a state of graceful movement, you'll find that you actually have time to heal and process. And even with the Nine of Wands, because in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith image, the Nine of Wands is somebody who is kind of like wounded, he's bandaged up, and he's kind of like backed himself up against a bunch of wands because he just can't deal with it. Oh my god, wait one moment. I just realized that all of your cards are wands cards. I mean, except for death card, but like you have the suit of wands here. I can't believe I didn't notice that before. But also because wands are fire energy, and this death card here is filled with fire. So fire is very transformative, right? And fire is a very dynamic element because it can build and create life and help to sustain life, but it can also destroy. So these are two energies that are happening almost like in sync in your life right now. To number one, build up a new life for you where there's warmth, there's comfort, there's the ability to create like a beautiful campfire that sustains you, but also there's a destructive fire happening to burn away certain things that just have not been working for you, to burn away certain situations that have been draining you, all right? So that's the two energies of fire coming in. And the moment this period of your life concludes, what comes over is a lot more gentleness and healing. And you also realize that with Earth Monkey, you can move mountains. I think you realize just how powerful you are at the end of the day. That you have the strength in you to make the impossible happen and be able to withstand a lot of heat. So that's something that I think you'll be rewarded for, like walking away from all of this. This is what feels satisfying, is the fact that you made it and you did it and you were able to overcome the challenges that were placed in front of you. And walking away is not a sign of weakness. Walking away is your choice to stay in alignment with yourself. But staying in the situation and being there was already proof that you got it. I think one good example could be like maybe you put up with a lot of work stress, for instance, and it's not in alignment with you. Most likely you don't need to put up with all this stress, and you don't need to have all of this challenges and client problems and work problems, like, I don't know, people wanting to gain the upper hand, politics and all that. Five of Wands, Nine of Wands. Having withstood that challenge and that what the environment was bringing you, it showed you how strong you are. And walking away from it, people may not understand, but you know that that was what's best for you. Okay? Underneath the deck, we have Wood Rabbit, follow your curiosity. Yeah, so it's also a time where you'll experience more lightness, and you can actually like follow your curiosity, maybe like try different hobbies, try different like new things, and there's a lot less pressure to have to like perform and always be on the like success, like winning mode, always to have to like put up your best performance. You can actually just like try and experiment, like there's a phase in your life coming in where it's a season of trying, it's a season of experimenting, and you have that space to actually give yourself the chance to try. All right, let's see what other major changes are happening for you. We have here, you're very close to achieving your goal, Gibbous Moon, okay. All right. We have here the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. We have the answers you need are coming, as well as it's time to take action. So that's pretty much the be bold and make the first move. And we have, where should I put this? The answers you need are coming. Let me just place these cards. Okay, let's put her in the middle. But it's time to take action, pile number 1. It's time to make your plans and make your moves. It's this change and you walking away from this, I feel like it's not something that happens like overnight. You don't just like wake up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna hand in my resignation letter and just like move on. Like, it's something that you have been planning for, and you know exactly how you want this to end. You know exactly how you want to prepare yourself for when you move on. And it's time to take action to make those plans come to life, okay? And a lot of energy is gaining momentum to help you to come into this place where you can actually move on from something, and maybe almost like move on and have like a plan B, have a safety net, have something else lined up maybe. That could be what you're working towards, and you're very close to achieving that goal, okay? Pile number 1. Underneath the deck, we have your confidence is your key to success, new moon and Leo. Okay, and finally, let's grab you some affirmation cards just to see what Spirit wants to leave you with at the end of this reading. Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna take the cards that flipped over. But we have here, every day I am stronger, braver, and wiser. I live and grow in harmony with the universe. And we also have, it is easy for me to attract all that I need into my life. I do this by relaxing and trusting that things are going to work out perfectly. Beautiful. And underneath the deck, we have, I like to take care of myself with love through rest, play, movement, and positive thinking. Nice. So pile number 1, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now. Hello pile 2, and welcome to your reading about the major changes that you don't see coming. So we're going to start off with our tarot cards, and then we'll grab some oracle cards to unfold this question together, okay? And I do have my deck here just to get you your underneath the card deck message. But anyway, let's have a look together. We're starting off with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Star in reverse as well. And we also have, the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. And what's interesting about this deck also is that when in the Star card, this artist drew in what seems to be a pentacle in the Star card, or it's the same shape at the very least. So there's something about the earth element that's also coming through with the Star card here. And underneath the deck, we have the 8 of Swords. Okay. So, firstly, starting out with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like some of you you're wondering if you're losing the plot and feeling quite directionless somehow. I mean, that also ties in with the 8 of Swords, because the 8 of Swords is somebody who is blindfolded and they're pretty stuck and they don't know where they are, so there is a sense of feeling lost and feeling out of touch with our purpose and our path. And the 2 of Pentacles here is us not really knowing what to do about it. You might be just going through the motions every day, just doing the same things, getting busy with the same stuff, but where is it all leading to is an anxiety that you have at the back of your mind. Like, there's just this worry that this is not going anywhere and you don't have an answer to it. Even the Star reinforces that message over there, because the Star is, you could say it is the North Star. You could say that the Star represents that ideal outcome, that divine conclusion that we reach at the end of a major challenge in our lives. And the Star in reverse is also us losing sight of that North Star, us losing sense of that direction and what all of this means to us. And one of the things that's very that you guys might be considering is that your work and how you're spending time at work every day is not contributing to any bigger life purpose, meaning, or path for you. With the Three of Pentacles in reverse, because the Three of Pentacles can talk about craftsmanship, right? It's how we would like to best use our creative energy and how we want to spend our time and what we want to devote to when it comes to building up certain skills, or when it comes to any kind of like work that we're doing with ourselves or with other people. And the Three of Pentacles in reverse is also feeling like this isn't going anywhere. I thought it was, but it's not. You know, you might have made this commitment or this decision to go into a certain field of work with Two of Pentacles to Three of Pentacles, right? I see this progression of energy in a way where you were wanting to make something work. You were wanting to make something happen and to make the best of it. But the more you try, the more it's like, this is going nowhere. It's going nowhere. So one of the big major changes for you is clarity of the situation and being able to see and restore your sense of purpose and path and vision. I want to grab more cards for you because the spirit is kind of like giving you this download over here where there's a lot of acknowledgement to the frustrations that you're going through right now, and it seems important to acknowledge it. But let's have a look at, well, what happens next. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. That makes a lot of sense now. All right, we have Tower in reverse underneath the deck. Okay, so the reason why Spirit pretty much just pointed out or made the observation, right, of what was going on in your life is because the major changes that's happening to you, and as annoying as this message will seem, there is some truth to it. The major change that's going to happen is the one that you create for yourself. Queen of Pentacles, she is a creator. She is very entrepreneurial. She takes initiative. She's not going to wait for somebody else to do the things for her. She's going to do it by herself. You know, so she in reverse is saying that we've been procrastinating maybe on some things that we know need to be done, and we've been sitting on some changes that we know we have the power to make. And one of the things Spirit wants us to know is that you have the power to create the change that you want to see in your life, and this change and this chain of change starts with you. That when you get the ball rolling, everything else will fall into place, but you need to start, because without your consent, without your permission for these changes to happen in your life, it's very hard for Spirit to like force them upon you. It's very hard for external things to just happen to you. You need to also put it out there into the world that this is what you want through not just your thoughts and your intentions, but your actions as well, with Queen of Wands. And Tower in reverse underneath the deck is it's almost like you know it, you know, like the Tower here is like we could see this coming from a mile. Like this tower built upon this shaky ass rock from a mile away, everybody could tell that this wasn't built on strong foundations, right? But the story or the moral of the tower is that nobody acknowledged or recognized it, or everybody was maybe in denial about the fact that this was such a shaky building to have, right? But if we really look closely at the tower, we know that, hey, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look like it's built on strong foundations. So one of the things that Spirit wants to point out to you is that you already know that whatever it is that you're going through in your life right now, be it work, be it some kind of challenging living situation or financial situation, you can see it and smell it from a mile away that it continuing on in this situation will not bring any positive changes. And as much as you're trying to make the best out of something, yes, you can, but it's not going to be the same as creating what you actually want without compromise. Because being in this situation, it already feels like a compromise. It already feels like a mismatch. So the major change that happens is the one you create for yourself. Pile number 2. I have to admit that's a pretty annoying message. I would be annoyed if I got that message as well. But let's see. Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. Okay, we have Water Rat, focus on your vision. Exactly. Period. Exactly. Focus on your vision. And we have Fire Rabbit, welcome the Muse. Yeah, so some of you might be interested in doing some more creative work or wanting to express yourself in a certain way. And, you know, creativity is one of those things where people will always question the utility of it or question how good it is. There's a lot of doubt when it comes to creativity. Maybe because of how intangible it feels. It's different than money. It doesn't give you security, maybe. But also maybe because this is how society in general has always treated creativity, right? The artist has always been met with a lot of doubts, like can they make it? Can they actually build a sustainable career? Can they actually feed themselves, or will they fall into the trap of being the starving artist, right? There are a lot of societal stereotypes and almost like misconstrued notions. Is that what we say? Like preconceived notions? Yeah, preconceived notions about creativity, and it stops someone from even trying out their ideas from the get-go, you know. So this is Spirit calling for you, Queen of Wands, to reignite that spark and focus on your vision. If there's a creative idea or project that you have in mind, give it a try. You know, it doesn't have to be anything major. You know, it doesn't have to be like a whole business or a whole like big launch plan, and it has to be like some crazy thing that you invest like a lot of money into. Like maybe just start somewhere simple, you know. And that's the message from Spirit, is to bring that back to life. All right, pile number 2. Underneath that we have Earth Sheep, return to your center. Yeah, return to your center. You've left behind some kind of vision and it's time to get back to it. All right, let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. Okay, this is a lot of cards. I will keep shuffling because that also felt a little bit iffy. But we have here new moon eclipse, expect powerful change. And be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. Yeah, underneath the deck we have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Yeah, so we're doing a reading about the powerful changes that are happening and expect powerful changes here. So that's very apt. But also I think this is confirmation that when you create the changes that you want to see in your life, you can expect things to move in a powerful manner. You can expect yourself to welcome in very powerful changes when you get the ball rolling. When you make the first move. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, make the first move. Be the one to start the change, and you will experience some really powerful things happening in your life. Okay, pile number 2. Now let's get you some final affirmation cards to see what else Spirit wants to leave you with. But we have here, the universe is always helping me, sometimes in unexpected ways. Amazing. And underneath the deck, we've got, in my heart, I know that good things are coming my way. Beautiful. So pile number 2, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you are seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now. Hello pile 3, and welcome to the major changes that you don't see coming. So we're going to start off with our tarot cards, then we'll grab you some oracle cards to unfold this question together, all right? So the very first card we have is the Knight of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Cups. And the 8 of Swords. Okay. Underneath the deck, we do have the 5 of Cups. The tricky thing, or the interesting thing about this spread over here is I feel a little bit of the past and the present and the future all mixing up together. So pardon me if I'm jumping things a little bit, but hear me out, okay? So if we start with the Eight of Swords here, this I feel is your current and maybe even past energy, where you've been so jaded and so disillusioned by love that you would rather not face this topic in your life. You would rather not have to deal with another potential love offer or some match or some date that again goes nowhere. You'd rather not, you know. And so the Eight of Swords is you guys like deciding to actually intentionally cover your eyes and bind yourself, and you're just like, I don't want to see anything, and I don't want to do anything, I don't want to hear anything when it comes to love. And then we have a bit of this Knight of Cups and Ace of Cups energy that feels like the present and the future energy. Actually, there's also a bit of past, so I'm just going to talk about all of it. The thing is, you have had people come in, Knight of Cups, kind of like coming in all excited and all lovey and dovey, right? And they bring in all of this energy and they almost like show you this new possibility with the Ace of Cups, and they bring you so much promise, and it gets nowhere with the Five of Cups underneath the deck. It literally gets nowhere, and that really really like shatters your spirit, and it makes you want to walk away from potential tricks or traps, you know, if you will. But then also there is a possibility of a new person coming in, and this whole reading feels like love to me, so therefore I'm just gonna read it that way. But there's also a possibility of a new person coming in who's gonna be different, but you have to use your discernment as to which person, who this is, you know. And I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't want to sell you something that you can't even believe in. The point is that the major change happening is you guys being ready to accept somebody new in your life, and this person will also be able to recognize that you've been hurt, and they might be catching you at a time when you're like, nope, not interested, where you turn them down, where you're saying that it's not for me. And there's somebody who is willing to stay with you through that kind of reaction from you. They recognize that you're speaking from a place of hurt, and it's not really what you truly think. So there's someone who's a Knight of Cups that isn't just, you know, trying to romance you without something concrete in mind. They actually see the potential and see the value, and therefore they are interested in getting to know you better, even if they get to know you from a place where you're feeling a little bit jaded about love. Okay, so the Five of Cups therefore is also this change coming through where you're able to move on from past disappointments. You're able to allow that to be water under the bridge with the Five of Cups here, and see that there's still the other side. There's still grass on both sides. The grass on this side is green, and so is the other side, and everything is fine. You know, you're kind of like restoring some optimism and some positivity in your life, and recognizing that everything is still good, everything is still fine, and you still it doesn't reflect on your worth, it doesn't reflect on who you are, the experiences that you had. It doesn't tell you who you are, you know. It was just an experience. So when we don't take it personally, we can detach ourselves and release ourselves from the grip of that situation. All right, so let's check out your oracle cards now and see what other major changes are happening for my pile 3s. Okay, we have number 44, Fire Sheep, clear your blockage. So there's some kind of blockage for sure that you're clearing. I mean, Eight of Swords is a blockage there. I mean, it's not only a blockage, but she's kind of like trapped inside these 8 swords. And swords energy is very much mental energy. It's mentally we're unable to release ourselves from maybe thinking about something, or feeling or thinking negatively about ourselves, or thinking negatively about a person, or we're unable to see something with hope and positivity, that blockage is being cleared for you, okay? Pile number 3. We also have Fire Dragon co-create with the universe. So you're definitely working together with spirit as well. I think that's part of the journey of restoring faith, is to come back into alignment with your higher self and feel a sense of connection again. That connection and that spiritual connection and spiritual alignment, I must say, is also going to help you to identify who is really like coming to you with a solid romantic offer and who is just playing, you know. Underneath the deck we have here water dog play with the waves. Okay, so have a bit of fun with your romance, your love life. I feel like this play with the wave is also like trying to remind you to not take yourself too seriously and not to take everything too seriously, because it's love after all. We're meant to have fun with it. We're meant to enjoy it. It's not meant to be some kind of like stressful thing. Like everything else about life is stressful, but love is supposed to be like comforting and exciting and safe and all of those things, right? So try to have a bit more fun with it. All right, let's see what else comes through for my pile 3s. We have balance, spirituality, and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So again, I feel like this is that spiritual connection coming back. I wonder if some of you have been feeling like you've been too stuck in the mundane, and like mundane problems might tell you that, you know, you need to be married by a certain time, or you need to be dating by this age, otherwise you're not going to be able to find your person and settle down and all that. Or if you are not married by this age, that means you're going to be left behind. Like, you know, like those mundane problems, you might have been feeling a little bit more dragged down by them and really starting to buy into those fears. And I think that's why there's this like spirituality element coming back in to help you to balance out, to see that, hey, the universe has 1,000,001 ways of bringing people together. Love can happen in 1,000,001 ways. It doesn't just have to happen in this one very specific way that society says it needs to happen, okay? So you're coming back into alignment with that spirituality, and it's offering you a different perspective of how love can pan out. All right, let's get you one more card from this deck here. All right, we actually have a few more cards. We have here, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, zoom out, guys. You know, when you zoom out, I think it also takes away the pressure from like trying to microanalyze every single thing. You zoom out and you just, you know, you blur the pores and you just got a natural blurring filter and you stop sweating over the small stuff. All right. We have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn, very beautiful. And also, you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. So everything is going to be fine. The major change happening for you is that this challenge, this difficulty when it comes to romance or love, when it comes to finding somebody who is genuine and sincere and authentic with you, this kind of very tough situation of always meeting mismatches, I think it's coming to a close, and you'll be able to find a lot more safety in yourself first and foremost. And I'm not gonna say, yeah, it's just finding safety within yourself, finding home and belonging and a sense of comfort within you first. And you loving yourself and giving yourself that full 100% love, and that's where the magic starts, okay? Underneath the deck we have surrender to the divine, full moon. All right, and so let us grab you your final affirmation cards to see what else Spirit wants to leave you with. And we have here, today I dare to do something differently. All right. And underneath the deck, we have, it is safe for me to explore unknown worlds and try new things. Okay, so pile number 3, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now.